Hello, and welcome to another flight here with the Citation X by FlightFX for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. Today we're flying in 2024. Another flight here in MSFS 2024 where we're taking the jet to Lake Tahoe from San Francisco. So yeah, I wanted to do kind of like an evening, late evening kind of flight here. Let's see how that goes here. Okay. Got some interesting weather here. All right, let's load in and get this party started. All right, everybody, welcome to San Francisco International Airport, where we are parked at a GA ramp here. We're gonna get on out of here on towards Lake Tahoe, which is gonna be a really nice arrival. It's an LDA approach, not an arrival. We're gonna be performing an LDA approach, which stands for Localizer Type something approach. I forgot what exactly it stands for again, but I do know this. It's a kind of approach where there is a guiding signal, a guiding beacon of some sort, but it is not in line with the runway center line, right? So it does guide you roughly towards where the runway is, and then you're gonna have to come on in visually and land your aircraft pretty much. So it doesn't align you with the center of the runway. It gets you in the ballpark, somewhere near it, and then you gotta fly it in yourself. So we're gonna perform an LDA approach into Lake Tahoe today. That's gonna be very, very interesting. And as you can see, the scene here looks really, really lovely. Look at how good that looks in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 at the moment. Lighting much better than 2020. Really, really cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. All right, we have a quick look if anybody is in the chat today. I don't see anybody. Okay. Feel free to say hi at any point. But yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and get this started up without further delays here. So walk around mode, I've removed all the chocks and the pitot tube covers, engine covers, all that stuff. That's all gone. We've got our door open here. Very nice. So we're just gonna quickly walk around this very nice livery. Oh, that is not cool. I hate the fact that the tail number, look at that. That is not cool. We've got our custom registration thing over the tail number there. That is not cool. Yeah, that is not cool. Yeah, looks kind of odd here, but anyway, not too terrible. Not too terrible. Okay, gonna pass under that wing there. All right, otherwise not a bad looking livery otherwise. It's one I grabbed from flightsim.to, but yeah, all right, very deep blue. That being said, let's go ahead and okay, before we jump into the aircraft, okay, actually first let's jump into the aircraft. We're in cold and dark, just to confirm. Yes, we are. Let's come up here. There is San Francisco International Airport, ladies and gentlemen, with nice amount of traffic there. Not too terrible. We can see that in the distance, looking cool. Look at that. Very, very nice. Okay, that being said, let's come down here. Oh, there's a takeoff right there. Anyway, we're gonna come down here to our particular aircraft, and then we're gonna jump back in here. There we go, back into the cockpit. Let's get started without further delay, shall we? We'll get started here, and yeah, it's going to be a fairly simple flight today, short live stream as well, but I'm looking forward to the landing into Lake Tahoe. That's going to be really exciting for us, eh? Let's find out how it goes. Let's find out how it goes. Okay. Very well. First things first, let's come down here to the tablet first. Let's go to our weights. I do have a SimBrief plan. I'm going to import that from SimBrief. Go, apply that right there. Everything done nice and easy. Very little fuel required today. And then let's go to ground services. How many passengers are we carrying? Let's have a look. We are carrying full house. Okay, we've got full house today. Got some cargo today as well. Okay, so the engine is pretty much loaded up nicely. The aircraft is pretty much loaded up nicely here. So yeah, that's not too terrible. Ground services. Let's attach the ground power. We'll leave the main doors open here. We don't need to do anything else. Good. Let's take a look at our configuration. Anything to do here? Nope. Perfect. Put that away. Ta-da! Okay. Let's come down here. You know what? Before I do anything, let me get rid of the yoke. The yokes here. Let's go down here first. Battery to on. Standby power to on. External power to on. Emergency lights armed, please. And we're going to turn on the avionics power, both these switches, ECAS and this one here. What is this? Yeah, both of them. And left generator, right generator, left on by default. Everything else here is looking just fine. Great. Let's come down over this side to our lights, nav lights. Let's turn that on. Let's put this up here like this for the time being. Passenger safety up, recognition lights. I'm going to turn that on. Tail floodlights, do we really need it? I'm not so sure about that for today. Windshield heat and pitot-static heats. We need to remind ourselves to turn that on in just a little bit. And then we've got our APU here. Before we come to APU, we can go ahead and get our IRS lined up and stuff. So let's go to position initialization. GPS 1 position, we're going to load it. Come down here. There we go. Put that to align there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and continue on with our FMC setup. Just requested our flight plan from SimBrief there, just like that. Let's have a look. All right, for takeoff, we're using a runway 28 left today out of KSFO, that is San Francisco. We're going to use this particular departure here, and transition, we have Orca. Okay, there we go. Let's activate that. Perfect. We can now, before we look at anything else here, we can literally just continue with performance initialization. Let's have a look. Climb 300. That is a speed right here. All right. Very good. Next. Wait, hold on a second. Okay. Transition altitude is 18. We're going to leave it at 18. Initial cruising altitude for today is supposed to be 23,000. So let's go ahead and put that in. Oh, sorry. You need to... What? There you go. Okay, let's sync the data there. Very good. Confirm. Okay. Wind today. What is the wind today? San Francisco, we have 260 degrees and 1 knot. So nothing much going on there. Okay. There we go. Flaps 15. Confirm that. Go towards climb before we do. Okay, V1, VR, V2, 28, 22, that's fine. Climb, very good. Cruise, very good. Very good. Descent angle at 3 degrees, apparently. Landing, we can input our landing data during descent. You know, we can do that during descent. We don't really need to do this right now at all. So yeah, we'll do this as we descend. We'll do it a little bit better today. So as we come into descent, we'll put in our landing data and you know, all that stuff. We could go to our arrival procedure though and put some stuff in. So arriving into runway 18 at Lake Tahoe. And we're going to use the LDA. And are we using any transitions? Not really, huh? We're not really trying to use any transitions here. Huh. Should we use a transition? It's a good question. That is a good question. Huh. Okay, you know what? I'll use one. I'll use the SWR beacon there. There we go. This is what we'll do. We'll do it like this. What's start again? Okay, never mind. There's no arrival procedure available for Lake Tahoe. Activate that. Now let's go through the flight plan, see if there's a discontinuity right there. Let's remove that. Anything else? No, that's it. We don't have any en route waypoints today. I don't think we have anything much. It's just a very simple flight today. Very, very simple flight. Okay. Great. I think that's pretty much it in terms of our FMC. We're done with the FMC. Just like that. Just like that, we are done with the FMC and the initial setup. And that means we can go ahead and turn on our APU, get ourselves started up. Before we do, let's go ahead and set barometric pressure for the day. That is 29.99. Set, correct. Altitude for today, we're going to go directly to 23,000 feet. So let's put that there. Done. Heading, we will tune that in roughly to runway direction. There we go. That's fine. Speed here, we're going to allow the auto throttle to do a bunch of stuff for us in just a bit. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU. Nice and easy. Okay, we've got our APU starting up. Very, very good. APU generator off. No, sir, it is on. I think we're just waiting for... There we go. Nice. We've got that running. Let's see. Just come here, select that. Very good. Very, very good here. Just increase the range there. Whoa, we got weather working now. Oh, so weather is working here, isn't it? Apparently weather is working. Is that weather or is that terrain? No, it could be terrain, huh? Yeah, I think that's terrain, not weather. Anyway, we'll have a look. We'll turn on our weather, although it doesn't really work. We'll do that later. Okay, cool. That looks good. We don't really have much to worry about. Okay. Generator is on, APU on, fuel boost is on because it's on automatic there. PS. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on our pirostatic. Let's turn on our windshield heats there as well. Brilliant. Perfect. Okay, with that done, we can close up our door here. Let's go to ground services. Main door can close up. So okay, I don't know what's going on today. Okay, I got that bug where I can't. Ah, there we go. Okie dokie. That is done. We are looking good. We need to remove our GPU there. Let's disconnect that. We don't need it. Let's come down here to our panel. External power down. There we go. Looking good. With that, we are ready to start up our engines. And let's go ahead and do that, making sure everything is in the correct place before we start up our engines. Do we have wipers available to us? No, we don't, right? Okay. Starting up engines. Right hand engine. N2 rising. Okay. That is looking good here. Good. Good. There we go. We've got our right hand engine up and running. Let's go ahead and start our left hand engine. Yep, let's do that. Let us do that. Waiting for N2 to hit 10% there, and then we press that. There we go. Good. Both engines started up. Let's go ahead and bring down our flaps for takeoff. That is flaps 15. There we go. Flaps 15 set. Let's put our transponder on right there. Let's set our stabilizer trim. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna leave it at 6.5 there, minus 6.5. Good. We are done with that, and we're pretty much ready for takeoff. Before we do anything here, we can press that button right there. Takeoff, set. Very good. Very good. We can arm the nav button there. We can put the VNav there. Yeah, we won't arm the auto throttle because that's gonna push it up to takeoff power right away. We'll do that when we are lined up with the runway. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead, turn on our taxi light there. Make sure that every light is pretty much on now. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Okay, I'll leave this the way it is, and everything else is pretty much... I think we're ready. I think we're ready to taxi on out. And yeah, let's... That was quick. That was quick and easy. Quick and easy. Okay, let's... Before we taxi here, let's have a quick look at our flight plan on little nav map. There we go. Very, very simple route here on today's flight. We are at the west coast, and here we are in San Francisco. We're gonna fly on over to Lake Tahoe. There's a lake right there. South Lake Tahoe Airport right here. We're gonna come in, land, and find ourselves in any one of these parkings as we please. So yeah, there is our LDA approach, and as you can tell, there is the center line of the runway this way, but that is our LDA approach. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. We probably need to tune in the frequency for that, huh? Yeah, we need to do that as well before we taxi. But apart from that, very simple flight planning here today. Let me just put that away for the time being. Let's go ahead and tune in the frequency for that here today. Let's come to our nav and we'll tune it here. It's ITVL is the identifier. Now I don't know if this will work. It doesn't always work. There you go. So I think I'm confusing this with the X-Crafts jet where you can put in the identifier. Here we need to put in just the frequency. So let me go ahead and pull up the frequency for our LDA beacon or signal there into Lake Tahoe. LDA runway 18, the frequency 108.90. 108.90. Let's put that in. There we go, 108.90. We put that in. We've got that tuned. That is active. Flight plan showing up here. Progress showing up here. We are definitely ready to taxi now. Without further delay, I'm going to release the parking brake. Okay, APU is still on though. We can. Whoa, what's going on here? I have no control over my... Why is my nose wheel steering refusing to... refusing to turn here? I have no idea why that's happening, but interesting. Let's come back in here. I'm going to turn off the APU now because we don't need it. APU down, that down, that down. Okay, we can turn that off as well. Okay, let me just turn that on for a second. Interesting. Give it a bit of throttle here. Let's see if I can turn it. Okay, I can turn it. Great. Great, 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 great. All right. Okay, we're supposed to be turning left now, and yeah, we'll have to cross runway 28R today on our way to where we are supposed to be, but that's okay. Let's get on out of here. Brilliant. San Francisco looking beautiful. Let's turn to our left here. Turn that on. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's bring ourselves back in here, shall we? Okie dokie. I think that's pretty much it, huh? Everything else is pretty much... We'll turn on the weather radar, but it doesn't work. As far as I know, I'm not too sure if it does, but... I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it works. Okay, there we go. We are crossing an active... Is it an active runway? I don't think anything's happening here. We'll find out, won't we? It's a little too late to worry about it, but yeah, we've made that crossing quite well. That's fine. There's another runway coming up as well. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at this side. Take a look at this side. It looks clear. It looks clear to me, and I'm gonna go ahead with that right there. There we go. All good. 19 left. It's a long taxi here today. It is a long taxi here today. Very nice blue color on this livery. Very, very beautiful deep blue. If it wasn't for the little registration hiccup there, I would say it's probably one of the better liveries available for this particular aircraft. Really cool though. Still pretty cool. Just some final checks. Is there anything else we need to do? No, sir. We are pretty much ready for takeoff, huh? Just need to turn on these lights. We just need to take care of our lights as we come into line up with the runway pretty much. But apart from that, we're good. How do I control these lights? There must be a place where I can control the lights. Where are they? Ah, they're here. Okay. Okay, those are the floodlights right there. Where did the floodlights come from? What? Oh, okay, so these lights are not animated, are they? They don't really illuminate per se, but the effect is there down here. Is that what's going on here? Not sure. Okay. Very cool, very cool. Can put this away for the time being, can't we? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. That is a good looking aircraft, man. We are looking great. Zooming along here on our taxi. A little private trip, a corporate trip to Lake Tahoe. Beautiful place, Lake Tahoe. It is very, very nicely done in the simulator. Very, very nice. Okay, we're coming up here on runway 28 right out of San Francisco. So let's just go ahead and get ready here to take ourselves off. I don't think I'm gonna hold short of the runway today, or should I just hold short anyway? Okay, screw it. I'll hold short of the runway for the time being. There you go. Let's turn on all our lights here. Taxi lights can come off. Let's just turn on our landing lights. Everything else is looking pretty good. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Okay. Release parking brake. Throttle up a little bit there. Come on, get us moving. There we go. Oh, come on. Come on, Mr. Alaska. Why'd you do that to me? I guess we'll have to wait. Okay, so we'll wait here, not a problem. We shall wait for the Embraer jet to get out of that runway. I will be definitely flying the Embraer in X-Plane 12 in the upcoming live stream. Either the next one or the one after that, I'm going to be flying the Embraer in X-Plane 12. Very excited about that. So let's just watch this here for the time being. I guess we could go to this view if we really wanted to take a look at it. There we go. Okay. Let's now get out of here. We really don't need that much runway, so we can begin turning in. Doesn't really matter. It does not really matter. Very good. There we go. Ready for takeoff. Auto throttle. Takeoff power set. Okay. Positive rate there. Get up. Beautiful. Wait, am I turning the wrong way? Why is the flight director telling me to go the other way? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, we can go flaps up. That's fine. We're doing just fine. That's alright. Not too worried about it. Not too worried about that. We're not exactly following our... Or we can just give it off to the autopilot right now if we wanted to. That's fine. That is fine. Let it follow that path a little better there. I turned in a little too steep, but there we go. Not too terrible at all. Let's put... what is our flap at? 5. Flap is at 5. We're going to wait just a little bit more. Okay, there the waters are right there in San Francisco. Probably the Bay Area right there. Very, very cool. Let's have a look up here. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, that is fine. Let's increase the range there. Let's increase the range there too. Let's put our flaps up. Slats are still out here. Landing lights. Okay, we're still under 10,000 feet here, so we don't need to do anything just yet in terms of anything else, really. We have a look. Let's have a look outside. Okay, I'm gonna put my slats up here as well. Slats have gone up there. Good. 8,000 feet. Let's go into the cockpit here. We've crossed 10,000 feet and VNAV seems to be doing its thing here. Don't see any issues. Since we've crossed 10,000 feet, we can turn off our landing lights there. We can turn off our passenger signs there as well. Nice and easy. My bad. I did not mean to do that. I did not know that shortcut existed for VR. I don't have VR set up, obviously. Okay, we're about 17,000 feet. That means we've got some time here, maybe about 800 feet towards our transition altitude here. Why are we still on takeoff power here? I don't understand. Okay, let's change barometric pressure to standard there. We're still on takeoff power there. Doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. Still on takeoff power. What kind of climb are we doing right now? Let's try that. Okay, I'm just gonna go with flight level change for the time being. Our top of descent is coming up in about 100 nautical miles. Let's have a look at progress page. Top of descent 100 nautical miles. There we go. Perfect. Top of descent in. Okay, that is breezy flying right here. This jet is so easy to get started up. You know what? One of the other things that I'm gonna do is that I know that there is a Citation X by default in X-Plane 12. I'm gonna go ahead and give a shot at flying that one as well, because I've never flown it. I have had a quick look around it. So I'm gonna go ahead and gonna fly that as well. Then I'll compare the two. You know, let's see how the one that comes by default in X-Plane 12 compares to the one by FlightFX here in Microsoft Flight Sim. So that'll be a nice little comparison that I could, you know, it's a nice little exercise. So I shall do that. Now that I'm quite familiar with this aircraft at this point, I'll go ahead and see how much of this ports over to the model in X-Plane 12. Obviously, I know a lot of people say that Microsoft Flight Sim has great physics and you know, it's just as good, and 2020 seems to have better physics than 2024, all that kind of argument. But I firmly stand by when I say this. X-Plane 12, in my opinion, definitely has better. It has better physics. It just does. Okay. In 2020, you feel like you're flying the aircraft through jelly, through some sort of, the aircraft feels artificially stable. Feels like you're on the road in a way. But in X-Plane, it feels completely different. And the blade element theory, if I'm saying that correctly, the way how they have programmed that thing, it's good. It is good, and I can clearly, there's a massive difference. All right, I use the same throttle and same setup for both the simulators, and there's a massive difference in feel between the two simulators, I have to say. So let's see how I feel flying the Citation X in X-Plane 12, and I'll draw a nice little comparison for you guys. So that should be pretty fun. It should be pretty fun. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter between X-Plane 12 versus MSFS in terms of physics. What a gorgeous scene right here. Look at that. The skies look so beautiful today. Don't know how accurate it is, but it's definitely looking absolutely gorgeous. The coloring is really, really nice. I think we decided to fly at the right time here. It is looking absolutely gorgeous. Very, very gorgeous. Yeah, especially on this side here. Looking very nice. The colors are looking good. Okay, we gotta be careful here. Top of climb isn't that far away at all. It's a very short hop here to Lake Tahoe. Top of descent. Sorry, I didn't mean climb. I meant descent. So let's see how this goes. Okay, it's getting dark in here pretty quick, so let's see whether we are going to be landing in at dusk as the sun is setting here at Lake Tahoe. So that might make for some really cool, beautiful scenery there. Let's hop on into the cabin. Yeah, let's hop on into the cabin for just a second. Just wanna take a look here. There you go. Very, very nice. The Uncanny Valley. I always hate looking at these passengers. You know, this aircraft has one of the better modeled passengers. Like, look at that. That is pretty well modeled. Right, pretty well modeled passengers here, and they're animated and whatever, but still I always find this thing creepy. I always find it creepy. It's probably because they don't blink. I think if they added some blinking animations it would be less creepy, but yeah, that's something we have in all these flight sims. The passengers don't blink. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it kind of creeps me out. But this is definitely one of the better models in terms of passengers being modeled here. That's definitely one of the better ones in the sim, so not complaining too much there. Okay, let's get ourselves back in the cockpit here. Close this door behind us, jump back into our seat just like that. Okie dokie, what are we looking at in terms of top of descent? 33 nautical miles, nothing else to do here. Pretty much this aircraft takes care of itself. The one thing I do not like, actually, is the fact that we are flying so close to overspeed. We can fix that right here just by manually bringing that speed down just a little bit there to 340. Okay, because we are kind of traveling too fast there for, you know, we don't need to be traveling that close next to the overspeed thing there. So yeah, increase the range on that, decrease the range on that. Top of descent coming up in about 25 nautical miles. 26.3 exactly, 26 right here. Yep, not too far at all now. So we need to set our minimum altitude that we're going to climb down towards. What is that going to be? What is that going to be? Wait, do we have landing data information put in? We don't, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and put that in right away. I'm going to put, we've got 0 wind today. Nothing in terms of wind. We've got 30.14 as the altimeter into Lake Tahoe. We've got 14 degrees Celsius outside temperature in Lake Tahoe. Let's put that in there. Okay, that's fine. Landing data. And there we go. 125, 120. $125, $120. Okay, so that is fine. What else am I supposed to check? Completely forgot what I came in here for. Oh yeah, our final descent altitude. What is it? What is it? It is apparently... Oh, good lord. Do we have our arrival set in? Yeah, we do. Activate it. So why isn't it... KTVL, huh? I don't exactly understand what's going on at the moment. Wuguk. Okay, yeah, that is our last waypoint. 7,730 feet. So yeah, let's go ahead and set that in so the descent begins automatically. 7,730. So we'll go 77. There we go. That's good. Flight plan, back to progress, 10 nautical miles. Okay, that is cool. So Our aircraft should automatically begin its descent here. It should follow the VNAV path. Let's see how well it does that. Let's see how well it can do that. Okay, there we go. It's heading on down towards 12,400. There is an altitude restriction there at birth. So it's doing that. Let's see. Let's see how it does. Okay, we're on our way down. We've begun descent here. Excellent. Look at how well done the details on the display is. It's so cool. It's really cool that they've gone to such incredible level of detail on the CRT displays here. Very, very nice. I like that a lot. I like this aircraft quite a lot. Verify ballast requirement prior to flight. Do we have a ballast tank? We probably do, huh? Anyway. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with anything right now. I think we're gonna be just fine. Yeah. Let's find out what altitude is projected here. 17,350, okay. That is what the autopilot in its wisdom has decided to do. Wow, lovely scene. Lake Tahoe, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe the airport is somewhere there, isn't it? Yeah, the airport is right there. That should be Lake Tahoe. If I'm not completely mistaken, that should be Lake Tahoe. The airport has to be right here. Somewhere here is the airport. But yeah, we're gonna fly out over the lake here and come back in for the landing. We've got visuals at the moment, so that is a good thing. Gorgeous, man, that's lovely. Let's have a look on the other side. In the cabin. Look towards the lake there as well. Well, we can't really see the lake just yet. Let's, why don't we hop on outside for a second there. Perhaps we can... Nice, not too terrible. Not too terrible. We're making that turn. This jet is so beautiful. It really is. Look at it. I mean, in all honesty, it is just beautiful. Okay, heading back in here. Oh, it's getting dark really quickly, so we are gonna kind of have a dusk landing there. 15,000 feet. Okay, we are 8 nautical miles away from Perth there. Oh, I mean, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Okay, 2.5 nautical miles, 5 here. So we don't have long to go before landing at all. We are our transition altitude. Let's put our local pressure there, 30.15. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on the passenger sign there. Let's try switch to FMS speed because we need to slow down. Completely forgot about that. We are going way too fast. We need to slow down, but luckily this aircraft does slow down fairly quickly there. Descend speed. Okay. No. What is this thing doing? Yeah, this is the weird part. It goes back up to cruise speed. If it has to level out its altitude at any point, it goes up. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. We need to go. Oh no. This is not good. Where are we going? Where are we going, ladies and gentlemen? That is what's going on here. I gotta confirm that we're doing the right thing. We're coming in too fast. That's what the problem is. We're coming in way too fast, and I'm gonna go down on our speed here, straight down towards approach speed because we are coming in too fast. We are coming in too fast. Yes, sir. Let's go down to 120 there. Perhaps I'll open up the speed brake. There we go, just to help us slow down. There we go. That right there is our runway. I've turned on approach mode in advance here because we're coming in too fast there. So we'll should be okay though. Let's put that out completely there. Okay. Almost to descend in speed there. Dropping our slats. Why are we not? Let's do a flight level change. I want to go straight down to 7,700. Let's come up here. There is our runway. There is our runway, ladies and gentlemen. There is our runway. We let that get away from. Let that get away from us a little bit there, but we'll be okay. Alright, so with an LDA approach, obviously it's not going to line us up with the runway. It's going to take us near it, and then we're gonna take it over from there. 191. No sir, we need to slow down. We need to slow down. Localizer caught there, and the localizer will take us somewhere nearby. Let's see. See, it's a little off, but we can take control. No glide slope available. Trying to go down towards 7,700 feet. Okay, I'm gonna bring down our speed 125, please. Thank you. Open up my speed brake there so the speed can drop quickly. Drop the flaps to position number 5. Landing lights on. Okay, flaps down. An altitude restriction right there, but it should drop us down if I do that. There we go. Putting down flaps 15. Yep, let's drop our gear. Flaps 35, landing flaps, approach speed down to V125 there. Flap set, everything's set, we're ready to land pretty much. Okay, now we gotta take manual control and just fly it in by ourselves, you know. It will take us all the way near it, but you know, we should probably hand fly this now. Probably hand fly this now. Okay, I'm gonna take over, and I'm gonna fly this by myself. My aircraft, ladies and gentlemen, in 3, 2, 1. Autopilot disconnected. My aircraft lining up with the runway here manually, more or less. I don't need to be descending so quickly, so I'm gonna pull up here. There we go. I'm gonna ignore the last waypoint and come in manually. We're too low. There is a missed approach procedure which literally requires us to take a U-turn. Doesn't make much sense, but yeah. Okay, there is some sort of obstruction right in front of the runway that I'm able to see, but for the time being, I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to go in there, begin our descent slightly here, line ourselves up with the runway, more or less visually right there. Let's go ahead and land this beautiful jet. Let's do that, shall we? Coming in. Oh, nearly forgot again. Running sky dolly, ladies and gentlemen. Running sky dolly this time. Thank goodness. Yeah, there is something obstructing. I think those are trees right there. Yep, those are trees. I'm gonna have to go high a little bit because otherwise we're gonna fly straight into them. Oh, come on. That is... What? Yeah, what? We should not be flying this approach at this time. Okay, I'm gonna go in now. We're coming in a little high, obviously. I don't know what those were. Those were trees, huh? Right in the way. How on earth are we gonna follow the glide slope there? Okay, we got some runway room. Some, not a lot. Oh God! Come on. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Tahoe. That was an interesting landing right there, not too terrible. The trees, I did not expect that the poppy lights, you follow the poppy lights, you're gonna slam into the trees, and plus it was nighttime. We had no way of knowing, but I am glad we are in there. Okay, so welcome to Lake Tahoe, and before we completely turn off the runway here, just slow ourselves down really well here. Get the APU running. Gonna start it up, get that running, get that running as well. I'm going to turn off our landing lights here and turn on our taxi lights. I'm gonna bring this down here. Okay, and I'm going to bring our flaps up as well. Flaps are fully. Speed brakes down, check. All right, not too terrible. Let's give it a bit of throttle. There we go. Welcome. Welcome to Lake Tahoe. There we go. I like the way how the nose light because it's attached to the nose wheel, changes direction. I really like that. That's cool. Give it a bit more of throttle there. Okay. Let's taxi in, and once we do taxi in, before we shut down our engines, we're going to take a look at our landing replay, see how that went. See how that went. I love this view for taxiing. Cool. That was a fun flight. That was a fun little hop right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. That was a blast. It's a little bit of fun. I'm gonna pump the... Probably have to put the brakes down a little bit because we are moving along a little brisk here, but nothing too terrible. Now, I do have scenery installed for Lake Tahoe. It is already a handcrafted airport in Microsoft Flight Sim. There was really no need for me to purchase this scenery, but you know, it was a couple of bucks, and I didn't really know that it was handcrafted in MSFS, so I went ahead and purchased some scenery here. It looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The Lake Tahoe is absolutely beautiful, look at that. So let's just go in and find ourselves in somewhere here. We'll take the next turning and we'll butt ourselves in there. I'm gonna open up the throttles just a little bit to give us some momentum for making that turn. There we go. Got a couple of aircrafts there already at Lake Tahoe. Let's take that turn. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, we'll go this way. Hopefully there's a nice little parking right there for us. So let's try to do that. I have no idea if I'm going the right way. I hope I am. Let's find out. Let's cheat a little bit. Go outside here. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. We can take that. Well, technically this guy is taking that parking, so we shouldn't be here, you know. Nonetheless. Gonna put ourselves here just so we can be close to the building here. I'm just gonna put ourselves right here. I wanted this parking, but this guy is taking it, but nonetheless, parking brake there on, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lake Tahoe. Before we go any further with engine shutdown and securing and all that stuff, let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay. Let's do that right away. I don't think the lights are accurately represented. Oh, they are. Cool, they are. They are accurately represented. Let's see how that approach went. See those trees in our way? Come on. Okay. Landing replay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how that landing went. Let's take a look at how the trees were in our way. Take a look at that as well. The camera is not positioned properly, is it? It just isn't. But anyway, let's take a look. That wasn't too terrible. That wasn't too terrible. If it wasn't for those trees, we could have easily made a perfect landing. And yeah, since I didn't have visibility, I didn't want to take the risk. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Anyway. Let us have a look. Well, let's just try this view. Let's try it. Let's see. Look at that, we're coming in high there. Let's see how it went. Perfect. I love that. I love that. Let us try, you know what, we'll try this view as well, why not? We'll try this view as well, and then we'll go into the cabin. Right before the trees, let's play. Flight Sim Brazil. Flight Sim Brazil. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it, mate. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoyed today's stream, and I look forward to seeing you on the upcoming streams and on the channel in general. Welcome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the cabin view landing. Shall we do that? So let's go ahead and do that right there. Let's see what it was like for the passenger. That was a good landing. Let's look at that one more time from the other side of the cabin. Not too long, right here. And then we'll go in and shut our aircraft down. Last landing replay, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. That ends our landing replay. Let's go ahead and fast forward back to our parking where we left our aircraft. We're going to shut it down now. And then a quick look around Lake Tahoe, sorry. I was about to say Tallahassee. Quick look around Lake Tahoe, and then we're going to call it for today's stream. So let's go ahead and do that. Go into our parking. And voila. Obviously, we turned off our lights and everything. It's just the replay mode is going to turn it back on there. So let's just put that back down. Okay, that is fine. Let's put that down. Let's put that down. Let's put that down there as well in off. We'll put that down. Let's just turn off our engines here. There we go. Turn off our engines. Okay, we've got our APU running at the moment. We can turn off our windshield heats, pirostatic heats, and all that stuff can come off for the time being. Let's bring our tablet back up here. Ground services. I'm going to open up the main door. I'm going to put up the ground power here. No, I can't do that just yet, can I? Oh, I need to put the chocks for that. I think I do. I'm not sure why I can't use the ground power at the moment. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna shut down the APU here. Put that off. Put that off. Put that down. Turn all of that off. Okay. Ground power is not available to us for some reason. That's okay. Not a big deal. We'll open all that up. Great. Let's turn off. Do we have flaps up? Yes, we do. We got all that done. Got that off right there. We can turn that off right there as well. Why can't I turn it off? Come on. Turn off. Okay, I'm just gonna do that for the time being there. What else? What else do we got? What else do we have here that we need to do? We can turn off those. Turn that off. Can turn that off all the way. Yeah, there we go. That pretty much does it. We can turn these off as well. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for some reason we don't have ground power available, but apart from that, we're just fine. Apart from that, we are just fine. Okay, let me go outside. Welcome to Lake Tahoe. There we are. There we are. We're just going to take a quick look here at Lake Tahoe before we call it for today's little stream here. Let me do that here. There we go. We're in drone mode. Look at how beautiful this scenery here for Lake Tahoe is. This is actually one that I purchased, but the scenery that is there by default, the handcrafted scenery, is also excellent, and you really don't need to purchase anything, but you know, I went ahead and did that anyway. Okay, what is this? There's a little bit of a problem there, but apart from that, I think it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Look at this. That looks good. There we go. So a little airport. Okay, that is weird. It's a little bit of a glitch there. Oh, more glitch there. What? Yeah, I don't think this scenery works for 2024. I think I've got the wrong scenery installed, don't I? Yes, sir, I do. I think this is meant for 2020. I think I have the wrong scenery installed. Yeah, anyway. Nonetheless, the scenery in 2024 is absolutely excellent. So you really don't need to install anything else. I think I made a mistake installing a 2020 scenery into 2024. But yeah, we'll take a look at it in 2020 later. But look at how good those textures look. Look at how good those markings are. Really, really cool. Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. I had a good time today. Very bright blue livery here. But yeah, that was really fun. And I'm going to call it here for today's live stream. I hope to catch you in the next one. Thank you very much, Flights in Brazil, again for that follow. And yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I shall catch you guys in the next one. See ya and take care. Bye-bye.